All right, good morning once again. Today we are moving right along to Adjectives 1.4. As you can see, the trend is every day we just go through a chapter. So on Monday we did 1 and 2, combine those two to make a longer video. I figured it'd be a better use of your time. And then on Tuesday, yesterday, we did the third one, and today we are doing the fourth one. There are 6 total, so remember that. Today's goal is that you will be able to recognize and use compound adjectives in a sentence. And I will just say this is a very short lesson. It's one concept. You've probably heard of it before, and there's not a whole lot to it. So it'll probably be like, I think it's like 5 slides that I'm going to go through. So compound adjectives, I like to use this little image of kind of these rings being attached because it's one word, but it's 2 words coming together to make that one word, that one adjective. So by definition, a compound adjective is an adjective that is made up of more than one word, obviously. Most compound adjectives are hyphenated, but some are written as combined words. If you don't know, the hyphen is just a little dash that goes in between words, and then obviously the ones that aren't hyphenated are just one word that happens to have 2 words in it. So if we look at this chart, we have the hyphenated ones and we have the combined ones. So freeze, dried coffee, we have the word freeze, the word dried, coming together to talk about freeze-dried coffee, which is I think what you use when like you're camping and you can't have too much water because it's too heavy when you're like hiking around with a big bag. So you would use freeze-dried coffee. And then heavy-duty boots, so heavy and duty coming together to make that one adjective to describe boots. So these are the ones with the hyphens, right? We're separating 2 words with the hyphen. And then we have our combined adjectives, so far-sighted planner, right? You plan way far out. And then underpaid staff. So pretty easy concept, right? It's just there's 2 different versions of it, so you have to remember that. We can have the little hyphen guy or just 2 words combined to make one word. So how do we know if the word is hyphenated or combined? We don't. That's the tough thing. And I will never assess you on this skill. Like I won't give you a word and be like, does this have a hyphen or is it combined? No, because there's no way to know that without like actually looking it up. It's something you'll just get used to over time as you see more of these words. You'll be like, oh yeah, that one has a hyphen, that one doesn't. Like when I'm typing or sending an email or whatever, there's some words that I just know have a hyphen. And then there's other words where I'm like, wait a minute, does that have a hyphen in it? And I have to look it up. So that's essentially what you'll have to do too. If you're writing an essay or something and you're not really sure if it has a hyphen or not, just look it up. It'll tell you right away. But again, you won't be tested on this skill. So here's your pause and think already. See, I told you it was going to be short for this little mini lesson. Thinking about flamingos. The theme is birds this unit, so you'll be seeing a lot of birds. I want you to go through these 5 sentences and tell me where the compound adjective is. There might be 1 and there might be 2. So just make sure that you're reading really carefully. There are 5 of them. Please read all 5. Please do all 5 in your head, on paper. I don't care. But again, I would advise that you actually pause and think before you move on with the rest of the video. All right, so hopefully you pause because I would like to go through these. You guys can get started on the next thing you have to do. So for number 1, the flamingo is the name for a family of long-legged birds. We see that hyphen, we're given the clue. Long-legged is your answer here. For number 2, scientists are fascinated by multicolored birds. Bam, multicolored come together to make a lovely compound adjective without a hyphen. 3, flamingos make their homes in saltwater marshes, that's your first one, and freshwater ponds. There were 2 of them in that one. So salt and water come together to make one word. Fresh and water come together to make one word. Number 4, the chicks are fed by their parents for months. However, they are self-sufficient after 30 days. We get that nice little clue with the hyphen again, that it is self and sufficient coming together to make a word. And as you can see as we're going along, like you might recognize like, oh yeah, it makes sense that like long-legged wouldn't be just like one word, right? Because we're kind of describing the legs within the word, so we would have to have that hyphen there, right? But freshwater and saltwater, you're like, yeah, those have always been combined words. So like I said, you just recognize things after a while, and it won't be you having to do too much thinking to figure out if you have to put a hyphen or not. And again, it's not a huge skill. Our last one, flamingos fashion cone-shaped nests from mud, and they generally lay 1 off-white egg. Cone-shaped, off-white. There you go. Hopefully you got all of those right, or you learned something from pausing and thinking once again. That's it. What was that? 5 minutes? See, I told you I could be efficient. So here's what to do today. You're going to go in and do the daily check-in question that is in the individual discussion forum within the Wednesday folder. So make sure that you're going to that one and not the big general one for adjectives or the big general one for the class. You're going into the individual one for this day, and that is how you show that you are here for the day. Obviously, I'm not your homeroom teacher, so I'm not taking like official attendance, but I am tracking who's in my class and not in my class because I would do that any other day, right? I need to know like if I have to deliver you materials, if I have to get Superior Mr. Mahmoud on your case to potentially see where you're at. So just make sure that you are actually responding to those questions, even though they're stupid, pointless questions. I mean, it is good to get to know you guys. So, hey, there you go. Today's question is having to do with what your future endeavors are after high school. More importantly, today, since it is a shorter lesson, I'm having you do more of like an activity type of thing instead of just like answering questions. So you're going to be doing it in Quizlet. I don't know how many of you have used Quizlet before. I assume a lot. I used it a lot when I was in high school. It's been around that long to do flashcards and things, and you can actually share flashcards with your friends, which is really cool. So if you go into Schoology, I hope that it is not going to glitch right now because that would be really bad for this tutorial. Go to week 1, online class. Yes, okay, so far so good. Go to Wednesday, it's unpublished because I'm recording this ahead of time, but if you go into Wednesday check-in, right, you would do that first. Then you would click on this link, Compound Nouns Quizlet Activity. Yes, okay. Normally it would like embed the website in here, but I don't think that Quizlet is connected to Schoology just yet, so it won't do that. So the important part is clicking on the actual title here, and that will bring you to Quizlet. We're in my account right now, so you can see here is the set of 10 flashcards. So if you read the directions, it says, each card will give you a clue such as a walk that takes 10 minutes. Before flipping the card, try to challenge yourself to guess what compound adjective and noun combo the clue could be referring to. For this clue, a walk that takes 10 minutes, the answer would be a 10-minute walk. So you can see the hyphen between the 10 and the minute, that's your compound adjective, and walk is your noun. So you will go through all the cards, right, and kind of just challenge yourself to see how well you do after learning about it. See if you're understanding. If you're not understanding, go back through and actually take a good look at each of these answers. Make sure that you understand what a compound adjective is. Again, this is one of those things where I can't really make sure that you're doing this part, right? Because it's just flipping through flashcards. But that's where that academic honesty piece comes in, and you don't cheat yourself, right, by not doing this stuff. I provide these sort of activities for your academic success, and if you're not doing it, you're not going to succeed academically. So take the opportunities that I give to you and just go through these flashcards, right? Make sure that you're on track. The important part is where you actually have to go in and create your own set. So the last part of the directions say, make five flashcards of your own using the same format by using your Google account to create a Quizlet account. So obviously it'd be a clue on one side, compound adjective on the other, just like mine. So if I back out of my account, so I can show you what this looks like. I'm sure many of you already have an account, but if you don't, this is how you do it. You go to sign up, you would continue with Google, and then obviously like you would pick your account on your device. Pop in there, bam, here you are. You would go up to create. You would call it compound adjectives. You don't need a description, I know what you're doing. And then here you would enter your compound adjective. So we could say seaside. Yeah. And then your clue could be something beside the sea. Yay. And that's how you do it, right? Super basic clues to go with your compound adjectives. When you're done with this, so once you've made a created set, I'll show you what that looks like. Leave this page. So if I click on my newly created set that you would have saved, you would go down here. There's a bunch of little toggle options. I'm not sure how it's going to look on like a computer or a phone or an iPad, but on my device it looks like this. You go to share. You would copy this link. You will go back into Schoology. You'll go to messages, new message, type in my name, subject, my flashcards, and then paste the link in there and send that off to me. And that is how you show that you went through the flashcards, hopefully you did, and made your own set and showed me that you know how compound adjectives work and that you can create your own, right? So that is pretty much all for today. If you have any questions on what you're supposed to be doing in the next couple of hours, shoot me a message. Otherwise, peace out.